Hello and howdy, my name is Gunnar Clovis, and today I would like to finally play some of Andy Bae's games. So Andy asked me to play some of his games a while ago, so long ago that the pages changed. Andy has always had a really great itch page for at least as long as I've been aware, seen his page. Yeah, that has this great little logo up here. It's very Toby Fox-esque. Yeah, I love that art style, kind of the dancing lines. Very simple, very few frames, but very, very effective, I think. And then Andy has a lot of good CSS. As you can notice, we have a custom cursor of this little hand. And yeah, and when we hover over the little dog, we get a little heart and a change in expression, which is just awesome. Just really, really fantastic. But now Andy also has more things. He has this 3D text and John Travolta and a cat and emojis and Pikachu. All right, my name is Andy Bae. I'm a 22-year-old mechanical engineering grad student at Duke University. Enjoys procrastinating on his research and projects to make jam games of varying quality. Yeah, 22. It's very good, very young, and has a great page. Like, actually looking at Andy's page is what inspired me to finally implement CSS on my own page, and I'm still not doing it quite as well. I just kind of have this kind of lazy float, and I don't have as much as this great stuff. I love it so much. Follow on Twitter, but that's on hiatus from daily updates. I understand that. I used to be super active on Twitter many years ago, and then I quit because social media is very toxic and bad for me. Now I'm back on Twitter. I've kind of forced myself to try and use Twitter again just for promotional reasons, but we'll see. So Andy also has what we refer in the business as a crap ton of games. There, look at this. Oh my god. There's so many games, which is part of why I was kind of procrastinating on playing any of Andy's games, because once I play a game or creator, I want to finish the whole page, you know? I'm a kind of a completionist in that regard. And this has so many games. Like, holy crap. We have, what is this? 9 games of the big text here. And then it's actually, I'm a little not quite sure how this is being done, because I have a similar thing on my page where I have some bigger games, and then I go down to smaller games because they're the collections, you know, Itch's version of like a playlist, a list of games, and so those are smaller. We have the same thing here, but there's no title, and there's no like hidden black text, or yeah, I don't quite know what's happening here, but clearly, I mean, Andy just clearly understands Itch a lot more than I do. I do not claim to really understand Itch. So yeah, so many games. 9 big games here, and then what is that? I want to count this. 4, 2, 3, 4, 16, 18. Wow. That's 27 games, plus 3 more for art. So 30 games on this page. 30 games. That is so much. Oh my god. I hope they're not all really long games. Like, say, Saucy Armadillo. Because I really would like to get through all these games and cover them all, but this is just so much, it's intimidating. So I kind of like to start at the beginning, and I don't know if these are organized at all, or if they're just kind of added. Yeah, this is so great. The CSS on this page is fantastic. The little wiggle, the custom cursor, and how that changes, and yeah, and then good GIFs like that one. I think that's a fantastic GIF. It's very good. Oh man, yeah, it's hard to know where to start, but I will try Andy's game Fragments, because that is playable in browser. It's a drop in the finish. Now he might be mad at me for picking this one, actually. But let's see. It's playable in browser, so that's a big deal. I don't like having to download stuff. So, collection of unfinished projects. Oh, it's a collection. Interesting. Unfinished projects by Andy Bae. Game about changing summer. I kind of don't want to try to pronounce names. I know I can't pronounce. Tsuku Tsuku Boushi. Reason for dropping after hacking this game to work as a browser game. Any other changes broke it, so I left it as is. Bench Heroes destroy snowflakes. Very brutal. Reason for dropping, didn't want to put any effort into it. Rapping, platformer, tower climbing, tower climbing, rapping platformer prototype. Reason for dropping: originally a Nathan for You fan game, but overscoped, lost interest, and didn't feel the mechanics matched the show. Schoolyard Dash, a 2-player versus where you race to the end of the schoolyard. Reason for dropping: a submission for X Game Jam where I lost Steam motivation. Universe.exe, a mini-universe simulator where you use your gravity powers to fight against entropy. Reason for dropping: originally for Ludum Dare until my laptop literally blew up. I now have a desktop PC, and if anyone is interested, I'm willing to finish it up on a free day if you leave a comment down below. Alright, so it's a bunch of games. What was that? That was like 5 games. Yeah, wow. Okay, so God, I thought this would be a short, unfinished game, but it's a bunch of games. Andy's Game Fragments. Oh, I did a similar thing a long time ago. I think I called it Gunnar's Closet because of Marceline's Closet had just come out for Adventure Time. And it was a collection of like 5 games of varying completeness. Okay, so playable in browser is awesome. I recommend every game is playable in browser all the time. This has some custom colors and font set. They're not amazing. It is the default kind of itch red, which I really don't like that shade of red, frankly. Maybe I've just seen it too much due to itch. But yeah, always good to set unique colors. It's an okay color palette. I think it could be better, but it works well enough. And yeah, it's using the default kind of pixel font that itch provides, which is fine. I've never liked it as much, and I think it makes it a little bit harder to read, and I don't think the benefit you get from it being pixel is worth how hard it makes it to read. But that's all we're fine. We have this thing. The window is kind of awkwardly shaped, and this is something I struggle with too. What size do you set your window? And I think this was going to be especially difficult because this is a Game Maker Studio game. Yeah, it's a Game Maker Studio game. Or at least old Game Maker. Because you have to set, like, yeah, the viewport size or the window size within Game Maker for export, and then itch lets you kind of control the window size as well. It's awkward. And so, yeah, it's tough to know the right size to put it at. I've done a few experiments. I think having it smaller is generally better because then people could play it just within the browser. But the best solution is just to literally flick on the Boolean. And I know I'm talking a lot before I'm playing any of the actual games. But when you upload a browser playable game to itch.io, there are a bunch of options that appear afterwards. And one of them is allow full screen switching or something like that. And you should just always have that. There's no reason really to, I don't know, unless you're making something like Nokia Explorer, which arguably had a reason, but even still, I think just always allow full screen switching, which can kind of fix any sizing issues you might have. So here, you see this is kind of awkward, because if I scroll up, okay, well now it feels like I'm cutting off the bottom edge of the screen. If I scroll down, then I'm cutting off the top edge of the screen. Even if it's just slightly, but that's super annoying, and I hate it, so I think I can... Oh, can I even? No, I think the window is too tall for me to, maybe just arguably, but that's awkward. You never want any of your game window to be cut off, because, yeah, that just sucks. But in here, I can move around with WASD, also with arrow keys, which is good. Yeah, that's what you should always do. Never have only WASD. I'd recommend just always have WASD and arrow keys do the same thing in all situations, because then it works for every keyboard. Where if you, the graphics kind of look weird when you move sideways, or just when you move, I don't know, the blending is looking odd to me. I don't think that's a problem with Andy's work, though. I think that might just be an engine thing. But yeah, because if you only have WASD as your control scheme, then it's unplayable for people with like AZERTY keyboards, for example, in France. So having arrow keys can alleviate that. It would be best if you had like rebindable controls, or you went even farther than that and had more options like ZQSD, which is the equivalent of WASD on AZERTY keyboards in France. But that's good. I tend to do ZQSD, WASD, arrow keys, and IJKL and in the, it's like comma AOE, which is for Dvorak keyboards. And there are other ones, but that's plenty. But the best thing is to have like rebindable controls. But that takes a bit more effort that you normally would not have for a game jam, which is fine. All right, so this game, there's not really a gameplay to it. I can move around. I'm this little weird character. I can't quite tell what's happening. Do I have a beard? Or is that just like a button? Okay, I think that's just like supposed to be a button. But the way it looks, it kind of looks like I don't know. I have a weird cone head hat and a tall flower, very tall flower, or I'm very short as a child, or some kind of gnome. But yeah, no, this is a solid base for a game. Very, very kind of typical standard base. I can move around everywhere, and the layering works well. That with all the trees, see, I go behind them, and then I can move in front of them, and there is collision to them. It's very slight. A lot of times you just would not have collision if you're doing this kind of thing. But here, yeah, I can't walk up into them or down through them. But that collision box is also really tight. See, so like this is a big folly I see with a lot of games when they do a collision system like this for a similar kind of top-down view, but the boxes are way too exaggerated, and like I try to walk this far and then I get stopped by it, which is super annoying. Always keep those really slender. You could even do them like smaller than that. Yeah, so that's exactly what's happening here. See that I am passing through there even though my sprite is kind of clipping through the tree because the hitbox of the tree and or my player character is so much smaller. But I think that's a good thing in this case. There, I can't actually get blocked from the side as well. Cool. I think that's a good choice. It's much better to be like that, where I honestly don't even think that's really a problem. Whereas if it was wider and I got blocked like right here or here, which happens in a lot of games I play, that's far, far more annoying. So good on you there. But I've been looking for like a way to continue. It's supposed to be 5 different games. So game about Yotsuba changing summer into spring. Okay, yeah, any other changes broke it. So, alright, so I assume this is the first one. It seems summer changing to spring related. But how do I continue? There's no controls supposed to run these games. Really, all of these should have like a little blurb that says controls, like above reason for dropping. But there's no control. Oh, okay. So it looks like the Tsuku Boushi is just the browser playable one. Okay, and all of the other ones downloadable only. Gotcha. Okay, that does make a lot more sense, because I was kind of impressed that by the idea that you had embedded all 5 games into one package. So, alright, well, I clearly didn't know that, and I've been talking a lot already, so I don't want to waste your time downloading any games, so I think I'll end it here for today, and this was just the playthrough of Tsuku Tsuku Boushi. Forgive my pronunciation, I have no idea how to pronounce that, I'm just guessing. And yeah, there's not a lot to review here. You know, it's a pretty standard kind of unfinished prototype. I have similar unfinished prototypes. This kind of stuff happens in game jams, and I totally get that. Yeah, trying to get a game to work as a browser playable can break it. That same thing happened with a few of my games that are currently not browser playable that I need to eventually get back to and fix. I shouldn't be able to move that far, so it looks like, I don't know, oh, okay. That might be it. Yeah, okay, so what's happening, I'm pretty sure, is the collision, which is dictating everything, is just on my shoes. So look at that, see how when I go left, it only goes to that part of my shoe. And I go up, it goes to only the shoes. And that's why I can pass my body through just fine. Yeah, okay, because I'm betting that the collisions are only that little sliver of my feet and the little tiny base sliver of the tree. I guarantee that's what's happening, which is a very good solution. It's very, very good. It's probably actually the best way to handle it. Where I see a lot of people put that collision box for the tree all the way up and then, collides at all points. Or they get this effect by still having the tree's hitbox go the full height of the tree, and then they're comparing Z values for the depth in Game Maker it would be. And that's just really unnecessary when you can just have it be exactly this, where my shoes are my hitbox and the base of that is its hitbox. That works perfect. There's nothing more that's needed than that. And you see I go up into the corner with my little shoes. Same thing. Interesting. So really cool. Very, very simple kind of unfinished demo. I know Andy's games are much more finished and better as an indicator of quality, because I guarantee this will probably be the worst one. Just because it's clearly unfinished from abandoned game jam or technical problems, whatever it was. Which totally get that happens to the best of us. All right. Well, this one says it's after hacking the game to work as browser. Any other changes broke it. I'm not sure if that's implying that there was more game that would be playable in the downloadable version. I don't think so though. I think that's it. So this is gonna be Tsuku Tsuku Boushi. I don't think this is Andy's first game. I think this was just this is the collection of unfinished games. Thank you for watching. I will be playing more of these games. I have so many games to get through. Just Andy's page alone. I thought it was 30 games, but no, this one is 5 games in one. So there's a lot to handle here. Check out I'mAGoodBoy.itch.io. Good boy. It's my favorite YouTube video. And play some of these games for yourself. I will be covering all of them eventually. I don't like to cover one creator too much at once. I'll do maybe 3 or 4 videos of one creator in a row, but then I need to space it out for a few weeks. Thank you so much. Please remember to love yourself. We are all, same people of the world. People are the same no matter where you go. We all got the same problems, same perceptions. Everyone is the victim and the hero of their own story. So maybe try and understand some other people's stories a little bit better. That no matter what side of, any issue or group you might be on, I feel like there's something to be learned from the opposite side. Normally we don't tend to pay a lot of attention to conflicting sides, but I think we're more united than we are divided. And I think it's a good practice to try and practice empathy and understanding for other people's positions. So this game, Tsuku Tsuku Boushi, which again I doubt I'm pronouncing remotely correctly, was submitted to Fragment Jam. I didn't notice that before. Or no, the collections was right. Okay, I don't know anything about this jam. Is it just unfinished game jams? Yeah, ancient projects, dusty experiments. Huh. Yeah, okay, that's really cool. Fragment Jam, that's a great idea. I love that. That's really awesome. Oh, by James Earl Cox, of course, James Earl Cox did this as well. Goodness. All right, well that's all for me today. Please have a lovely day. I hope you're well. Remember to exercise and eat well. Love yourself. Goodbye.